Did you know that Bill and Melinda Gates' 3 children only stand to inherit $10 million each after his death? What if I told you that the rest of his $134 billion fortune is going to various donation centers across the world who are total strangers to the Gates family? It might be a bit of a shocker, but Bill's kids won't get to live the fantasy lifestyle that they may have thought once their dad passes away. In fact, they're going to get just enough money to live on once they retire, but that's it. They'll have to work for whatever money they can through any business endeavors that they pursue. The Gates Foundation was born as a merger of 2 previous charitable endeavors, the William H. Gates Foundation and the Gates Learning Foundation. Forbes reported that Bill and his ex-wife Melinda's foundation has donated an estimated $27 billion to charity since its founding, which made it the most generous private foundation in the United States. After his Microsoft company continued to grow over the subsequent decades since 1975, Bill Gates finally had to step down as CEO in 2000 to focus on philanthropic efforts. But that was not the only case. As soon as Bill and Melinda had a family, they asked themselves hard questions about how to make the world better for children. As they say amongst new parents, the reports hit hard. The couple once revealed on their foundation's website that they recall sending the article to Bill's father with a note saying, "Dad, maybe we can do something about this." Those 8 words changed the rest of our lives. In 2000, Sound Families was launched by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to address the issues of homelessness amongst families that live in the Puget Sound region. Between 2000 and 2008, Sound Families helped build more than 1,450 transitional homes for families with children in King, Pierce, and Snohomish counties. They then invested $100 million in the South Bronx to help develop distressed public housing properties into mixed-income communities. 5 years later, it then invested an additional $250 million in the effort. Innovation has been the great enabler of economic growth, but that innovation is not just a matter of people coming up with new ideas and then putting them into practice. It's also about learning from mistakes and failures and taking those lessons back to the people who might actually profit from them. The Gates were looking to seize the advantage this would later present. The Gates looked back at the mistakes made in its earlier days, especially in its early effort to bring computers to libraries around the world. It realized that there were 2 basic ways to do it: build the machines themselves or buy them ready-made from manufacturers. The foundation chose the latter, trying to be as helpful as possible. But buying machines was hard in 2005. In every country, it had to figure out which ones worked best and how much they cost, and then get them into libraries without making outrageous shipping charges for each one. In general, though, this initiative proved to be a good investment ever since, as millions have benefited from it. The Foundation's approach is founded on the belief that if you can help people tap into what computers have to offer, they will see benefits in their lives that go beyond getting access to information. And that belief has proved correct time and again. The first program the Foundation funded was in Armenia, and it was a success. The library had 400 users at the start, but after just 3 years, it had attracted more than twice as many. By 2015, its total number of visitors would have surpassed the population of the country. Among those who use its computers are students, who can use them to complete homework assignments from anywhere in the world, journalists, who can conduct research without having to travel to cities with good libraries, and hospital patients, who can consult an encyclopedia for diagnoses or make appointments for tests. The internet is not just a way to access information, it is a way of studying and of teaching too. The Foundation's website contains tens of thousands of articles on subjects ranging from malnutrition to cancer, with many being written by volunteers working in fields that have little access to high-quality information. It is an astonishingly effective organization, as in 2006 it was reported that the Foundation gave out $1.3 billion to about 2,000 charities around the world, the most famous of that time. Melinda and Bill then traveled extensively in Africa, where they've seen firsthand how farmers are adapting to a changing climate, weather patterns, and soils. They also learned that African farmers' productivity is 1/3 of what it is in Asia. They believe that smallholder farms can be the key to improving food security in Africa if they have the right tools and training to help them succeed. The Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa was then launched and working to do just that. Through the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa, or AGRA, they partnered with the African governments, foundations, companies, and other donors on an effort to help smallholder farmers get access to better seeds and fertilizer, more effective water management techniques, higher quality soil inputs, more markets for their crops, and reliable storage facilities. AGRA is led by Africans who understand the unique challenges facing smallholder farmers across the continent. The foundation was confident that AGRA will help transform agriculture in Africa so that farmers can increase their yields and contribute to an overall improvement of food security on the continent. Although he still serves as chairman of Microsoft's board, he went on to make significant contributions to the world of philanthropy through the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. The organization also aimed to enhance healthcare and reduce extreme poverty around the world. He believed that there should be no distinction between business and philanthropy, so his focus was on innovation and results. He nurtured the mind of helping anyone who could not help themselves. He and his now ex-wife Melinda wanted to eradicate terminal diseases like HIV, polio, and cancer so badly that he has first set aside $500 million to do so. In just a decade, the roadmap of the foundation was that these diseases become extinct. By the way, if you're enjoying this enriching and informative experience, then please consider giving this video a thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to Dayum for more videos just like this one, and ding that notification bell so you never miss out on any more content updates from us. With the help of volunteers and donors, the foundation funds treatment, research, and advocacy programs in the United States and developing countries. And the foundation also worked to improve education, with a focus on connecting schools in low-income communities to technology. Even though Bill Gates had just been overtaken by Warren Buffett at the time, it's still a common belief by everyone that he and Melinda were the richest in the world and that they were going to give a lot of their wealth away. It was one of those idle conversations everyone has from time to time. What would you do if you had $1 billion? Well, the Gates were actually going to find out. The foundation's main guiding principle is that every life has equal value, and this is clearly stated in its mission statement. It works on issues such as poverty and poor healthcare in developing countries, and aims to enhance education and access to information technology in the U.S. Melinda also claimed in the website that in 1997, she and Bill both felt that they needed to bring in a senior leader to help shape the direction of their work. They knew they needed someone who had an extensive background in global health, but who was also open-minded about new ways of bringing about change. They were so fortunate that Foggy joined them soon after. He had worked extensively on some of the most challenging public health issues of that time, including smallpox eradication, the polio vaccine, and combating hunger in the developing world. His historical knowledge about what works, as well as his willingness to innovate and embrace new ideas, made him the ideal person for the role. He also always admired Bill's ability to listen carefully and then ask just the right question. Bill is one of those people who could see things that others don't notice, and then find a way to make them happen. When they visited programs together, he always encouraged them to talk directly with people whose lives would be affected by his work, and to really listen to them. With his guidance, they greatly expanded their work on malaria and other infectious diseases. Foggy claimed Bill also inspired him to get more involved with education issues in the U.S., where he saw many opportunities for them too. In 1999, Bill and Melinda Gates established the Gates Millennium Scholars Program to help low-income students of color succeed in college. Since then, this scholarship program has sent more than 20,000 high-achieving low-income students of color to and through college. The goal of the Gates Millennium Scholars Program is to increase the number of minority students who graduate college with a degree in science or other disciplines. The Gates Millennium Scholars Program offers all scholars financial assistance, including money for tuition, room and board, books, supplies, travel expenses, and personal expenses. The scholarship also provides academic support services and leadership development opportunities to help scholars adjust to the academic rigors of college life. Bill and Melinda even visited a village in India where nearly half of all children under age 5 are underweight, which made them both see firsthand how malnutrition can leave children too weak to fight off diseases like pneumonia, diarrhea, and malaria. In 2001, Bill and Melinda created the Gates Children's Vaccine Program, with a $100 million grant from the foundation so as to combat these medical issues more effectively. Another area that they wanted to tackle was the AIDS epidemic. After attending an international AIDS conference in Barcelona, Melinda was inspired to launch a global campaign against AIDS through a partnership between the Gates Foundation and UNAIDS. That same year, too, she accompanied her ex-husband to India to meet with government officials about how they can help expand vaccination programs in that country. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation then began working for the next 5 years in India to find ways to improve sanitation and toilets for the poorest people. While the problem of open defecation is well known, a deeper understanding of the complex factors that have kept many people without access to a toilet was needed. In 2010, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, along with the World Bank and UNICEF, established the Reinvent the Toilet Fair India. This event brought together innovators from around the world to develop sustainable toilet technologies that could transform life for millions of people. Now, the Gates Foundation has announced it will invest $2.5 million in further research by 3 teams to develop next-generation toilets and sanitation systems. Bill and his wife Melinda even made cystic fibrosis something to conquer as one of their top health priorities. Now, they have some good news to share. The Foundation's Cystic Fibrosis Drug Development Program has discovered a breakthrough drug called Calideco that can treat the disease in some patients. It went on the market last year and costs about $300,000 a year. It's not a cure, but it does make a difference for many patients' lives. So there you have it, guys. That is the story of how Bill and Melinda Gates Fund are looking to transform the world into a much better place for many generations to come. Was there anything about their foundation and the works they are doing that stand out to you at all, which you think is going to help benefit society the most? And are there any other efforts which they could make that you think they haven't touched on yet? Let us know in the comment section down below. And until next time, guys, we'll see you later.